Hello, hello, and welcome back to another moon ceremony. I'm Safrianna, Luna, the queer spirit guide. And as always, it is an honor to be here with you and to just share in the cosmic and lunar energies that are here present for us now. It has been a very heavy week for so many of us. Honestly, a heavy time since our last full moon. I think that many of us have been sort of swirling in this possibility energy, but also in this reality energy is the best way that I can describe it. Like we've really been rubbing up against what could be and what is, and where we want to come into more, where we're ready and being called to step into more. And that's just bringing a lot of our shadows to the surface. We've been looking at these things collectively. If you've followed me and been a part of my journey for a while, you know I'm always talking about the shadow side of things, and why we must look at that. And we've been in a chapter really for years now, but with increasing intensity in this period of looking at the shadows. And now they're very visible to all of us. We see the collective bullshit that's happening. We see the collective shadows that have risen to the surface, and we're being called into more. And what I've really seen over these last couple of weeks is those shadows within us really bobbing to the surface to be looked at on a really personal level. And I've seen really big levels, uh, pretty much in everyone that I'm talking to, of this like, I need to step away from being overly enmeshed with everything that's happening in the world. And I need to pull back in and I need to look at what's happening in myself. So that's really what's coming up here. So I'll talk a little bit more about this, but just in case this is your first time joining me, I do these ceremonies twice a month for new moons and full moons, and we follow the same process each time. I will continue to talk a little bit about the current energy, then we'll set some intentions, followed by an energy clearing, a guided visualization, and then I will pull some cards for the collective. So, as I said, this has been really a churning time of kind of diving into the collective shadows, but now really pulling up our own and looking at them and going, okay, what's next? And that's really what we're going to be looking at tonight. So, we are experiencing a new moon in Pisces right now. It is this very dreamy time. And I know a lot of people are getting intuitive downloads. They're having really intense dreams right now, these sort of intuitive pings about what needs to come next. So there's an invitation to really listen to your intuition right now. About 3 days ago, one of my guides started literally like knocking on my eardrum. And it's been a really wild experience because it's only happened a handful of times in my life. And I'd never really noticed it before until now. And I had this very big intuitive, like, oh, this is a very specific guide getting your attention. So I invite you to look for those little things in yourself. Like, are your hands vibrating more? Do you notice little tingles on the back of your scalp? Are you drawn to certain things right now? Are you having dreams? How is your intuition showing up? If more of us were in tune with our intuition, if more of us were really anchored in who we are and who we're here to be, we wouldn't have a collective that can so easily be bowled over by authority figures, waving fear around, because we'd be so routed in our own love, our own seat of intuition, that stuff would kind of roll off. And so you're being initiated into this time of really like letting some of that stuff roll off of you so that you can tune in to who the F you are and what you're here to do and what your intuition is actually communicating with you. That's really what this time is about right now. And we're going into creatrix season. So creatrix, the 3/3 portal kicks off creatrix season, which I am a creatrix. That's my star archetype blueprint. And creatrixes are all about seeing future events, being able to kind of hop forward and backward on the timeline and see what's happening with the collective. We do a lot of collective work. Yes, Miss Baby, the energy is big. My cat is in here like just having a little meltdown right now. Creatrix season is all about looking ahead and seeing what's coming for the collective. And so I feel that energy really building. And that energy is available to everyone, whether you identify or are a creatrix or not. There is this sense of the ability to kind of forward think at this time and hop ahead for what's possible for us. And when we combine that with Pisces season, which is all about intuition, deep feeling, dreaminess, Pisces are amongst some of the softest and most, beautiful and ethereal beings that are here when they're really embodied in that archetypal Pisces energy. They are so intuitive. So we're all being given this opportunity to dip into this energy right now. And then we layer in the new moon, and this new moon before a lunar eclipse. So not only are we going into creatrix season, but our next full moon is a lunar eclipse. All of this energy is available for us right here, right now with this new moon. It can be a portal for you to step through into a new beginning and allow that to build as we move towards this eclipse. So, lots of potential and possible energy that's here to play with. You have to allow yourself to step into that. You have to allow this energy to be here for you. So, hopefully you have a notebook for jotting down any notes. That's all you need for these rituals, by the way, if you are new. But we're going to move into setting some intentions. And the intention I would like to invite you to consider is, what are you being called to deep dive into? What are you being called to really go to the bottom with and like find in yourself and cultivate in yourself and call forward in yourself as you move towards this eclipse energy and as this momentum builds over the next 2 weeks? So I'm going to post some intention setting statements in the chat. But again, what dream-like quality is pulling you in? What dream is here for you to really like manifest and lean into right now? Without judgment. We'll get to clearing the judgments when we do our release here, but let's set some intentions. So you might say something like, in the coming weeks, I will, I'm ready to, I choose to, I'm becoming, whatever intention feels right for you. And I'm also going to write my intentions down as well. And as always, you are welcome to share these publicly in the chat, whether you are live or watching the replay. But you can also DM them to me. I have lots of people message me after the fact and privately let me know. So, what are your intentions for this new moon? I was having a chat with my friend Red this morning and really got the intuitive hit to lean into my feminine flow. And I actually have a affirmation on my mirror right now that matches that. So that's what my intention is about, is to allow myself to dream bigger and really step into that femininity again. It's been a journey I weave in and out of as a very agender person. But just breathe with your intentions here as you write them down. I'm going to go ahead and get our smoke cleansing started. So as you jot down your intentions, you might immediately begin to notice stories coming in, little narratives about maybe why it's not possible for you or what's going to get in the way, or maybe some judgments about how you haven't met that intention yet. Whatever's coming up for you, you get to let go of if you choose. So, as I smoke cleanse here on behalf of the collective, I just invite you to breathe and be here. And just notice if there are any stories coming up or in about what's not possible for you. And if so, see if you can offer those stories some compassion and then let them lovingly go, knowing they're here for you for some reason, perhaps trying to protect you. Hmm. So just breathing, releasing, perhaps allowing the shoulders to drop away from the ears. Just noticing if there's any judgments coming up about yourself right now, or there's any judgments about yourself you've been struggling with recently. Just let them go if you can. Breathing with your beautiful self and letting go of any outdated, limiting stories, or just sending love to any part of you that feels vulnerable, judgmental, scared, disappointed, ashamed, wrong. Just sending love to those parts. Releasing, releasing, releasing on behalf of the collective, anything ready to go, any internal judgments, limitations. Releasing, releasing, releasing. So we're going to move into a time of visualization next. But as always, I like to give a couple of reminders here. This experience is completely your own, and you can take and leave from it whatever you need. You don't have to close your eyes or go inward. You can journal, you can dance, you can lay on your bed, you can take a walk, whatever you need to do for yourself. But either way, I invite you to drop in your own way and have your own experience. If there's anything that I say that doesn't resonate, that's fine. Let it go. It's not for you, and something else will be. And of course, your journey is your own. So feel free to veer off course and go off on a grand adventure as you need. So I do just want to say some notes before I go in. I never know exactly what's coming up for these meditations, but I have been given given a ping by spirit that we are going to be doing some deep emotional work. So please regulate as you need. You can always step away and stop if you need to, but do know that we're going to be doing some deeper emotional work and perhaps confronting some shadows. So take care of yourself. So, as we transition into this time of visualization and expansion, we'll just begin to orient to the physical body. I invite you to just become aware of yourself here in this human vessel from head to toe, gently scanning the body and just noticing anything that is here right now. And as you notice, just see if you can offer some loving compassion to yourself. Loving compassion was the card that I pulled today. How can you bring in more loving compassion for yourself right here, right now, as we're getting started? And just allowing yourself to be here, just noticing, breathing. And then we'll invite in unconditional love. Perhaps you can remember a recent time with a loved one or an animal companion, a moment in nature, or just envision a scene where you're surrounded by your favorite animal, somewhere beautiful. Whatever allows you to tune in to unconditional love here and now. And using the power of this unconditional love, we'll begin to move out of the thinking conscious mind down into the heart space. And as you allow yourself to drift into the heart, land and anchor there, just breathe. Allowing unconditional love, loving compassion to radiate out through every cell of your being, to move and sweep from head to toe. And know that you are safe right here, right now. Nothing bad is happening. And you are moving inward, allowing your intuition to open, allowing your heart to open, allowing your truth to open. And so, as you continue to anchor into unconditional love, allowing a portal within your heart to open up, revealing a scene with a well. This could be in a forest clearing, it could be outside of a house, just seeing a well, a water receptacle. Stepping through your portal to really inspect your scene. Take in where this well is, this hole going down deep into the earth. You might look around and notice what the sky looks like, what the earth looks like. And welcome a guide here. Ask who needs to be here with me as I journey down into the depths, and see who arrives for you. If no specific guide is here, you can call on Pisces energy, on the fish, or an archetypal Pisces guide. As you stand here, notice what arises for you as you realize you are going to go down into the well. As you know, you're going to journey down into the dark, into the shadow, into this unknown space. What do you feel as you look towards this adventure, towards this perhaps self confrontation? And look to your guide and see what wisdom they have to impart before you venture in. There's nothing to be afraid of. And now it's time to go into the well, down into the deep, dark earth, down to the bottom. And it's going to take some time. However, you choose to or see yourself traversing, you begin to make your way downward, your guide coming along with you. Breathing as you sink down into the dark. You can look up and see the whole of light, even if it's dim light, getting further and further and further as you venture down into the dark. And just notice, what are you afraid of being in the dark? What are you afraid could be down there? What comes up for you right here, right now, that maybe you want to avoid, that you want to turn away from? That's what's here for you. Perhaps you've been pushing through lately. Perhaps you've been trying to do it all. Maybe you have been avoiding something big, something your intuition is communicating with you. Maybe you're afraid to be with the uncomfortable feelings that do exist. Whatever you've been running from, your guide is here with you, supporting you, seeing you, even as you go deeper and deeper into the dark, down and down and down. Noticing, breathing, observing. You've been dreaming, and it's time to dream bigger. Here's the thing about the shadows, that's where we might be afraid our deepest, darkest secrets lie. But it's also the seat of our deepest, most passionate desires. And if we avoid one thing, we end up avoiding everything else that's there in the shadow. We turn away from that rich possibility like dark, fertile soil. As you go down and down and down into the dark, holding with you, carrying with you whatever's on your heart that's been troublesome, that's been hard to carry. And your guide offers to help carry it with you. You are not alone. And as you find a way to share some of this load or to allow this to be turned over to your guide to be resolved, you begin to feel a lightening of your spirit. Down, down, down into the dark. Until you find yourself landing on soft soil. The smell of damp earth around you, the sound of some form of waterway. And your guide helps you create a light so you can see this innermost cave. Taking a moment to land in this innermost cave. It is dark here, but there is light. Your guide can see through the darkness. They can allow you to see through the darkness too. This is a space rich with potential, teeming with life. This is your own inner cauldron, a space where you can create. So there's an invitation here to perform a little ritual, a little rite, where perhaps you see that cauldron, whether it's within you or physically in front of you, but this cauldron where you get to add the ingredients you want to begin to create and plant the seeds for this new future that you're creating. The intuitive calling, symbols, messages, objects, magical items, whatever you are calling on here to manifest what you are calling in. Here in this deep down space, you and your guide perform this intuitive ritual, calling in your dreams, giving yourself some space now to see the ritual unfold. Allowing, dreaming, being, flowing. You get to add the energy to your future that you want. You don't have to carry the heavy burdens of your past. You don't have to carry the limiting stories. You don't have to carry what really isn't yours. Remembering here, you can hand these things over to your guide to be resolved, or see if there's any other messages. No expectations, just allowing. You are on the cusp of great change, and you see this played out in the cauldron as you begin to stir the turmoil, the swirling, the uncertainty, everything seeming to just be in this great spiral as you stir. That's what it's felt like in life recently. Like one great big stirring cauldron, perhaps chaotic, bringing yourself here to this moment, to your control, to your contribution. What will you add to the brew? What will you make and manifest? And out of this cauldron is born some form of symbol, some form of seed, something that you get to take with you or plant, something that you get to remember and recall as a sign of you awakening this next level, of calling in this next level for yourself. See what that object is. And just get curious. Does it have meaning? What is it sharing with you that you need to do or be as you move forward? If there's anything else you need to do to complete your ritual, to call in your next level, or any final messages you need to receive from your guide, just take some moments here to receive that. And then your guide helps you find what is essentially a geyser, a space where you can actually leave this space in rapid succession, riding a wave up. So, finding your own personal slipstream or geyser upward, you and your guide find your way up, flying through the darkness back towards the light. And as you rise, feel your heart and spirit lift, knowing that you get to make the choice to move towards your dreams. You get to take the aligned actions that move you towards the life that you want to create. And that you get to use the momentum in these next weeks to really lean into what's possible, to build that, to embody that, to feel it in every cell of your being. Take that in, affirm that for yourself. Yes, I get to create this new life. I get to create these new opportunities for myself. I get to manifest what I want for myself, in myself. And I get to co create that with the world, with community, with others. And as you arrive in the light, back outside the well, having emerged from another place, just taking some moments to land, ground, anchor, and just think for a moment back on whatever you've received, whatever messages, images, intuition has arisen. And then thanking your guide, thanking yourself, And then in your own time and way, beginning the process of re-entering the body, stepping back through that portal of the heart, beginning to wiggle the fingers and toes. And if the eyes are closed, gently opening them to take in the space. Oh, big stretches. So take any moments here to jot down anything in your journal that you might need to. And then I'm going to pull some cards for the collective. I just need to write my object down before I forget it. So I hope that something was able to arise for you of value from that. As always, I welcome any shares that anyone does want to share with me, whether publicly in the chat or privately. But love to just affirm that you are co-creating with the universe. The universe, not necessarily your present circumstances, not necessarily even this particular moment, but with the universe at large. And I don't know where that download just came from, but it was the universe wants you to know that you get to work with it, that you get to co-create. You are not a victim. You are not a powerless being. You are an infinite soul, and you are a part of the greater whole, the source, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. And so you get to co-create with that force. That force wants to be here for you, with you, through you, by you. So how can you lean into that more? So tonight I am pulling from Moonology messages. This is Yasmin Boland, has a couple of Moonology decks, but I love this very colorful Moonology deck. So let's see what it has to say about this new moon in Pisces and the energy coming through. So the first card is knowledge, drawing down the moon. Drawing down the moon was actually the very first moon ritual that I ever participated in, by the way. And you can kind of see this figure standing beneath the moon with her arms up. And that's really what the ritual was, going out and really opening to the moon, to the lunar energy, pouring through and filling our vessel. And we're being filled with knowledge of the self right now. That's what's really coming in here. Knowledge of the self with this Pisces energy. And that knowledge of the self is actually coming through the intuition. So we need to move out of the thinking mind and into this deeper inner knowing so that we can know and learn what we're really being called into. Oh my gosh. Embrace uncertainty. I feel like everyone I'm talking to right now is really struggling with uncertainty. So the message is here that we really have this opportunity to embrace that uncertainty as the fertile soil of anything's possible. If you don't know what's coming next, what do you want to come next? What do you want to create next? This uncertainty is actually an invitation for us to create what we want to create. So lean into that. Embrace the uncertainty as simply I don't know what's coming. So here's what I'm going to create now. There's an immense opportunity to co-create with the universe here. So see that uncertainty as an invitation to go deeper, to listen to that intuitive knowing of what you want to create. And then we have the dark moon. I think this is, I always find it so fascinating when I pull things that really are like that moon phase, because obviously you can't really see the dark moon, but we have these sliver new moons here. And this is the dark moon representing the past. The past has created the narrative that exists now. And that was something that was coming through during the guided visualization, was like, You don't have to carry those stories anymore. You can acknowledge the past and the wisdom that it's given you. And you don't have to lose or forget the past, but you have to allow it to stop threading into what you're creating in the future, as if the past is present and then becomes future. It's this untangling of the past is the past. And yes, they're all overlaid, and I'm getting into quantum creatrix timeline stuff where I'm like, I could go on a ramble about that. But the message that's really underneath it is yes, past, present, and future are all intertwined, but you are here in the now and you get to choose what you're carrying with you. So, can you choose to allow some of the past to just be integrated, to learn the lessons, to let it go as determining how you have to be now and in the future? So, embracing the uncertainty, seeing that as fertile soil, looking back at the past perhaps is what I don't want or what I do want, but really discerning, yeah, I do want to leave that in the past and I want to bring this with me. I want to take that with me into the future. Really untangling these threads. And so there's a massive invitation over the next 2 weeks. Like, as we build up to this eclipse, I really, really, really want to invite you to do your deep work. I mean, do your deep work. This is the time to reflect. This is the time to journal. This is the time to work your shit out. Because as we arrive in this eclipse, we're really going to be at a place of manifestation and grounding things into reality. So dream, play, use your intuition, have fun with it over these next few weeks, and embody it wherever you can. Like, that's a big thing. Embody it wherever you can so it really anchors into reality. And so our next ceremony is the eclipse, and it's going to be a very interesting time. I will say that, but it is a lunar eclipse in Virgo, so that's why I'm saying it's really going to be grounding down into our beingness. So, how can you prepare yourself for that? Something that's just coming in really hot right now is like, how can you take care of your vessel over these next few weeks, like maybe in a deeper way than you have been recently, whether that is hydration, nutrition, movement, just doing something for yourself that's really loving and nourishing to your body to prepare yourself for the energy that you are co-creating with the universe. So we'll be back on another Thursday for that eclipse. I can't wait to join you for it. It is visible here in North America and I think most places, but it's not like it's in some early hours. So definitely look up in your time zone if you want to see it. Otherwise, you don't have to see it to be in the energy. And I will be so happy to join you during that eclipse energy to really just call in this next stage. So, as always, if you want to make sure you don't miss these ceremonies, you want to show up live, you want to know the link that you can immediately go get the replay, I invite you to go to safrianna.com/moon. That is where you can sign up for the email reminders for these ceremonies so you never forget. I love getting my emails, so I never forget. So that is where that is for you. And you can subscribe to our YouTube if you would like. That is the easiest place to make sure that you get notifications and can follow along. As always, I'm so honored you're here with me. I love just enjoying this moon energy with you. If you have the means and desire to do so, you are welcome to donate. These moon ceremonies will, for forever that I can possibly do it in my highest integrity, be free. And so if you have the means and desire, I so appreciate donations because they help support me as I continue getting this magic out in the world. But even if it is just you being here with me, that is the highest value in the world. I so appreciate your support and just co-creating this web together of doing this deeper work. We need to be together in this. We need to rise together in this. We need to love each other more and be in the energy of unconditional love each and every day as we expand as a collective. That is what we've got to anchor in. That's what I'm cheerleading for. So I'm looking forward to our next ceremony together. I love you. I see you. I believe in you. Mama Gaia's got you and Grandmother Moon's got you. Your guides have got you. Community is here if you need it. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Until next time, I'm Safrianna Luna, the Queer Spirit Guide. I love you and bye for now.